It's Monday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's real.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's Real Talk. It's the daily vlog, Mark Pyers Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 322 in a row of the Mark Pyers Real Talk show. And I'm in the studio, as you know. We're getting ready for a Monday craziness. And we're live on 7 or 8 different social media platforms right now. Yesterday we had another great improvisation jam. I don't know if you guys were on for it. This is some of the stuff that happened this weekend. Check this out. It's like a tango. So if you're not tuning in during the weekend shows, you're missing out because we're really getting into it. I mean, I got the BeatSeat out and we're improvising songs in real time. We call it the Mark Inspires section of the Real Talk show, and I hope you guys will check it out going forward. So just a little something we got going. This is what we're dealing with going forward. Check this out. Ready? Bam. 3-camera shoot, okay, from now on. This is my studio. This is what I look like, all right? And this is me from the front. And now we're going to get into a few things today. You know, like something I started doing recently was the Real Talk News. I had a couple of my followers over on Instagram that said, you know, I want you to do some more like social story. I would just, you know, anything day to day, topical, you know, anything newsworthy. Maybe you could start talking about it on Real Talk. So we're doing that right now as well. So today you're going to see like we actually have the ability to come on here and scroll and look at a couple of news stories, which we're going to get into. This is one that I'm really kind of sad to hear about. This is a Connecticut baseball player who they found him dead in New Zealand in a hotel room, 23 years old. And the weird thing to me is there's no way that there's some sort of foul play going on, or he's taking something. I mean, 23 years old, you don't die of natural causes, but they said it was natural causes. I don't know what's going on over there in New Zealand, but it's a sad thing. See a 23-year-old, so much potential, that just cut short. Anyway, so that's a story that I picked up and I just thought was something worth discussing. I mean, how do you say natural causes? Nobody dies at 23 from natural causes. That's just, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so we do have this, and we're going to get into some more news stories today. But I wanted to talk to you quickly, a little Monday motivation for you. You know, we still got a month and a half left of this year. There's still plenty of time to do some business. Now, in my business in real estate, you start to feel that year come to a close by October, okay? You start saying to yourself, all right, let me get ready for next year. Well, you should be. You should be preparing for January 1 right now. One of the things that I remember specifically when I was starting is if you don't ramp up for January 1, by the time you get something going in the following year, it's like April. You have to be preparing for January 1 in October. But still, that doesn't mean you can't put something together in those last 4 months. Create some sort of magic, something, you know. The winters are typically a slower real estate season, not as many transactions. So you want to try to line up your pipeline. And as we talk about pretty often here, this business is about recreating yourself. After every single transaction, you need to recreate yourself. And I think that's important for you to understand because it doesn't just come to you. The business doesn't come to you. In fact, what I find is most people don't even think about you. I'm going to just call that person. You know, we're in this day and age now where everybody just picks up the phone and calls the listing agent. That's why we talked about a few weeks ago, the importance of being a listing agent, the importance of knowing the inventory, but also being there. You want to be the guy in charge or the lady in charge because if that phone call comes, it's usually coming to you. I still don't understand that. Now I'm trying to think back. Before I was a realtor, I probably would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have realized that there's a value to having your own agent. I probably would have felt the same thing. Well, I can negotiate better than an agent. You know, that agent does it all day, every day, for an entire year, year after year after year. There's value in that experience. You know, it's kind of funny. I remember when I was first getting started, I'd hear a lot of that. Well, you know, you need more experience. We're going to go with that agent because they have more experience. Listen, you want someone that's going to hustle for you, but someone who has a vast amount of experience. Well, the market's always changing. The way you sell is always changing. So just because someone has an experience of a different market, a different way of selling, doesn't mean there's a value there. You want someone who's going to know how to sell in this marketplace. So personally, I don't care if you sold for 50 years. If you don't know how to sell in today's market, I'm not hiring you. I think it's pretty simple, self-explanatory. But most people do look at that. Ooh, they've had their license for 25 years. That doesn't mean somebody's good. Length of time carrying a license does not mean you're good at that job. So I think the only way you can show that you have some sort of value or that you can stand on your own is by getting up each day and proving it. People aren't rolling up their sleeves anymore and doing things, guys. Everybody wants it so easily. Just give it to me. Ooh, just give it right to me. And look, I guess you could do that. You could just wait around for things to come to you, but you're going to find gray hair before you find that thing that you've been waiting for. Oh, that's the end of the song right there. So anyway, right now, we are on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook, obviously. I'm not sure if LinkedIn is working. I am attached to it. I just don't know if LinkedIn Live is working currently. And so check this out. Let's see if we can get to another story here. This is something I'm really kind of excited about myself. 3 top Jeopardy champs face off in ABC's greatest of all time tournament. That's actually a really cool idea because all 3 of these guys were animals. They just took apart the competition. And to put the 3 best of all time together, I think that's a pretty cool thing. I'm actually really excited to watch this. It's going to be January, so I'll talk about this before it comes in so you guys at least are aware of it as it approaches. But that's a great idea. You get the best of the best together and see who comes out on top, So anyway, here's the 3 winners. You get this Holhauser guy who won $2.3 million? Unbelievable. Ken Jennings, that's the guy I remember from when I was a kid. And then Brad Rutter, I don't know who that is. But the 3 tops, bring them in, let them fight. Let's see who comes out on top, right? I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I want to see the greatest play against each other. I don't want to see the best against 2 other scrubs. I want to see somebody who's up against the smartest people on the planet. And you guys know what's going on with Alex Trebek right now. He's dealing with pancreatic cancer, and he's not doing well, and it's a sad thing. I love that guy. I love that guy. As a kid, too, we used to watch Jeopardy with my parents, and I used to just love that. Get an answer every once in a while, but just the idea of watching that show and building out your mind with a daily show like Jeopardy was so cool. And that guy, even though even today he's not doing well, pancreatic cancer, he still looks amazing. That guy never aged. He always just looked the same, So anyway, we're here in the studio. Look, we got for the first time, we're sitting here with the triple camera view. You guys have a chance to see the entire Real Talk feeling. And I just cleaned up a couple things. You guys saw the intro, but this is another one of this is like the intro / outro right there. That's what you're going to see when I leave the show. But look over here. These are all the social media platforms I'm live on. So all you have to do is go to them and subscribe, follow. On YouTube, click that ding. I think that's what people say. Ding that thing. Let's get up here because, listen, I think it's funny. I'm here day 322 in a row on Facebook and on Instagram. But I didn't start doing YouTube Live until like 3 days ago. So we're basically 3 days in on YouTube. And my concept here is same thing. I'll be here every day. Now it's going to be Facebook and YouTube together. We're combined. And over here on my screen, I could actually see chat. So yesterday I had somebody who brought up can you smell what The Rock is cooking, he said on YouTube. So I went into that. I don't even know where that went. We started talking about Will Smith, I think, in that moment. And this is a gentleman I'm extremely impressed by. I've always been impressed by Will Smith. But his actions after his success is probably what I'm most impressed by. His ability to continue to give back to this planet and to promote positivity and promote the opportunity for entrepreneurs. And I just think he's an extremely amazing individual. And that guy brought him up. It started with Rock, and it led me to Will Smith. And I think two amazing celebrities that are out there trying to affect positive change one person at a time. And my mission is one person at a time, but someone like Will Smith can do it in mass. He could do it like as an entire planet at once. He just has to get up and talk. So I wish I could somehow get him on this show, because that dude's real talking, everybody. If you watch anything that Will Smith's doing, real talk. Straight up, real talk. Now, I want to share something I thought was kind of funny. I read today that Kanye West, he declared himself the greatest artist of all time. How do you even make a declaration like that? Like, how could you even say something like, I am the greatest artist of all time? Like, first of all, I'm sorry, listen, as a singer-songwriter, musician who's written over 150 songs, invented something called the BeatSeat, I'm looking at this guy who wrote rap songs and probably had them written for him, and I'm just like, what? Really? Greatest of all time? You're not even in the same realm with people like, Johnny Cash and Elvis Presley, whatever. I mean, there are so many phenomenal musicians that have graced this globe, and I'm sorry, Kanye West is not one of them. He's not in the top. There's some people that if you watch them, you'll be like, "Are you kidding me?" They're floating. They're floating. Their talent, it's a whole different level. When you see talent like that, and what's amazing about talent like that is they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing, and they're not even aware of everything else around them. They're not comparing themselves to anything else. When you start comparing yourself to what other people are doing, you lose every time. Nobody wants you to be like somebody else. Nobody wants you to be like anything but that spirit, that soul you have within you. It's there. It's there. Don't look at other people and try to figure out who you are. Just look within. Look within. It's there. All the answers are right there. So anyway, I'm not sure if anybody's on YouTube. I'm going to see if I can log in over there. I do see over here on Facebook, it looks like I am live. That's good stuff. Let's just check on YouTube, make sure I'm live over there as well. I'm loving the fact that I could see this all in real time, guys. I've never been able to do this until like right now. Let's just go over to the YouTube page and see if I'm live. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube as well. So cool. Let's get our logo back in there. How about that? So we're here, guys. Day 322 in a row. Real talk from the studio. Thursday is going to be massive. Thursday, I'm going to be sitting on a panel with entrepreneurs. It's going to be a panel of 5 entrepreneurs. We're just discussing late life entrepreneurship and the idea of going for it regardless of failure. That's what I'm going to be talking about, is going for it regardless of failure. Because at the end of the day, you will never get anywhere better than you are now if you don't go for it. Staying where you are keeps you where you are. You want to get someplace? Get going. Get up and go. You got to start. Remember, where you start, you have no idea where you're going. I think about the BeatSeat. I think about how I started with this concept of being able to play a show all by myself without having to hire a drummer. That's where I started. I wanted to be able to put on a show all by myself. That was my idea. Sit on something, put on a show by myself. Kick it. Okay, great. What did I end up with? I ended up with the first drum for guitar players. Okay, that is what I thought I'd do. But I also ended up creating the perfect seat to play an instrument on. Whether it's a guitar, whether it's a cello, whether it's a saxophone. Sitting on the BeatSeat promotes the opportunity for you to create new energy with your feet. I didn't anticipate that being the perfect seat for any musician. We all sit on the most uncomfortable seats to play our instruments. I didn't realize it until I started down the path of creating something for me to kick while I play my guitar. And as soon as I built something that was too wide and I realized my legs are like that cajon, I want to get something that I could feel like, just like I'm sitting in the perfect chair, my legs are like this. The BeatSeat. But hold on. That's not the end of it. 6 years, 7 years go by. I have a patent in my hand. What? I have a sensory therapy drum? The BeatSeat's a sensory? What is a sensory drum? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. What's this? What's a sensory drum? I had no idea what a sensory drum was. And now I'm here sitting on the first drum for the guitar player, first drum for any solo artist, first drum that a drummer can sit and play with their hands and their feet, both feet, same time while sitting completely upright. I did not know this is where it would lead me when I started. But I started. I went after it. I'm not afraid to fail. I don't know if this has something to do with when I was about 19 to 21, before I started writing music. I auditioned for a bunch of commercials. I did a few commercials. I did one film, and I played Romeo for a year. I was very much into acting when I was younger, so I heard no a lot. Ask me how many times I was hurt by that no. 0. Yeah, maybe for a few minutes I'd be like, geez, they didn't want to book me. But then I get back up and I go to the next audition. I get back up and I go to the next door before it's slammed in my face. I am okay with that, guys. I am not okay with not trying. I'm not okay with walking by that door and turning back 60 feet, 100 yards down the road and saying, why didn't I go and knock on that door? What if they said yes? I say you all should just go through life assuming everyone's going to give you a no. And maybe that just takes the fear out of it. It's going to be a no, so I'm going to definitely do it. If they're going to say no to me anyway, why not try every single thing? That's what I'm doing. I'm doing that in my life now, guys. I am going to try every single thing. You say no, that's fine. Remember, if you don't put yourself out there, you'll never know what you can do. That's real. The only true way to figure out who you are is to put yourself out there, time after time. The people that are failing are the ones that are not doing that. Think about that. You could fail 50 times, and you're still a winner. It's the people that aren't even giving it a shot that are losing. Living is attempt after attempt. That's living. Dying is sitting in your shoes and just waiting for tomorrow to come. Ooh, I'm content. Listen, you could be content, but if you're not content and you stay where you are, you're a miserable person. You're going to find yourself feeling miserable all the time. Action leads to traction. Get up and go. If you start, I guarantee you'll be amazed at where you end up. It won't be where you expect. It's going to be somewhere sort of where you expected, but nothing like what you expected. I'm here 322 days in, and I don't know truly where I'm going. I just know that every single day forever I'll be here. And this is the show. I keep telling people on LinkedIn and TikTok or whatever, I'm like, look, go check out a couple clips. And if you like the clips, just subscribe to the show, because this is it. It's not like there's downtime where it's like it's not intense. Like every single thing on this show is about intensity, passion, following your heart, leading with your intuition, and just shutting down that word no. Being okay with the word no. I want to go through my life earning things. I don't want things given to me. You know, how many times do I talk about that? If someone has a listing, I don't want you to say, here, I'm going to give you that listing. No, I'm going to show you why I deserve that listing. That also promotes self-confidence. If you can go in and you could speak for yourself and you could speak to your value and you could share why you deserve that opportunity. That's my philosophy. Go out and show what you can do. Here's my trumpet. We got the trumpet in here. I mean, guys, when we go crazy on Real Talk on the weekends and I start improvising songs, we bring the trumpet in. I was doing this all live, by the way. So after the show was over last night, okay, let me tell you how this breaks down. I run my loop station into my board, into the laptop, so everything's rolling in, right? But this was such a good track. When I created that, it's just so moving. It's like a tango. It's like a waltz. I don't know. There's something moving about that. I mean, get my side view. So listen, my new philosophy also on the show is this. I'm here mostly alone. Like, I'm in the back anyway by myself. I got my studio here. I can close off that door to the world, and it's just us here. So I'm going to take advantage of my space. Right here, I take this and then I got like all that space over there. I'm bringing in a BeatSeat. I'm dropping it right over there. And I think what I'm going to do, and again, this is just my idea, and I don't know if I'm going to do this yet, but every day I'm going to do a song. Every single day, we'll create a song here on Real Talk as part of Real Talk. So you get the show, and then somewhere in there, maybe at the end, maybe at the beginning or whatever, I'm going to play a song. And it will be something to do with the day, or maybe I'll just pull one of my songs out, or we'll just improvise something in real time. But it's going to be a new part of the show, is that every day there will be a new track on the BeatSeat. I think that would be unique. There's nothing like that right now. Obviously, there's tons of people that are providing inspiration and motivational content, but how about someone who's doing it through song and verbally? I don't know. It's something that just came up, and I'm thinking, look, this is an evolving process. Real Talk, 322 days in. It took me 318 days to get my broadcast system set up here, so I'm rocking out here live, and I can add, live animation for you. But I'm thinking this may be a concept, because every day, new song. And then it's just one of the features of the song. You got Real Talk News, then you've got, it's just, again, it's more of a concept at the moment. I'm just thinking about. So let's get to the final story of the day. It's not really a story. I just wanted you guys to know you can subscribe to my podcast, Mark Pyre's Real Talk podcast. It is available on Spotify. It's available basically on every single podcast platform. You could get it over on iTunes. You can get it on Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Stitcher, and there's the RSS. But this one right here specifically, I wanted you guys to see. This is the Stage 2 Startups. This was the interview I had the other day with Betty Wong and Emily Smith-Kelvick, and it was phenomenal because, again, they're supporting late life entrepreneurs, and I think that's something you guys should really take a listen to. And then one of my favorites here was this one here. When someone says you can't, smile and thank them for the fuel. That was a fire episode. You're going to want to check that. And then right before it, if it's meant to be, they will find it, was about the concept of Real Talk, and then not really, because everything else about that show was just really just passionate and fire. Like I said, I don't have a bad show that I'm looking back at all these shows and I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, no one's paying attention yet. It doesn't matter because I'm here and I'll continue to be here. I'll continue to drop it. And then when people finally realize it's here, I may not be here, but it will be here. The content will be here on YouTube. So I think that's it, guys. I got to still go over to do Instagram. I've got a meeting at 3:00 for the BeatSeat. Massive meeting. We're starting to meet with schools. Guys, every school in the country should have BeatSeats. Not just one. They should have them for the students. They should have them for special needs children. And so that's something we're going to be working on going forward. And I think that's basically it, guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode. Again, that's 323 in a row. And just remember that Thursday, I will be at the Cobb Library for an entrepreneur panel where we'll be discussing late life entrepreneurship. And there's also going to be I think a group of people there that invest in ideas. So you may want to come if you're an entrepreneur looking to get into the business and you're looking for some support, because Stage 2 Startups is there to help you with that. And I'm heading over to Instagram, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in every single day. And just remember, oh, wait, I want to start that over. Just remember, this is a daily show. Turn on those notifications on YouTube. Click that bell just so you know when I'm live every day. It is every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the next Real Talk. It's Mark Pyers. It's Real Talk. That's my favorite part.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way to ease my mind and help my living. I look into the windows